let's go over here and make sure that we are streaming. Okay, YouTube says we are live.
We are live.
Okay, cool. We've only done this a handful of times. We're not sure what we're doing yet. It's only been 264 episodes. We're still trying to figure it out. Okay. That's up and running. We are recording. Matt, mic check.
Check.
Jose.
Check 1.
Jason.
Check.
Okay. Jose, I made sure the audio output on the desktop was up this week.
Thank you.
So for our live stream, the volume on the live stream has been low consistently, and it's like one of those things where it's like I don't watch the live stream, I don't really pay attention, and someone finally brought it up, and I was like, oh, what's this button here for volume? And I just turned up the volume, and everybody's been giving me a hard time about the fact that we should have done that 260 episodes ago.
It's all right. You live and learn.
Yeah, we're not good at what we do. All right, let me get my notes. All right.
Jason, what's your last name?
Flores.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
It's right there on the invite.
That's right. Well, I wanted to confirm. Otherwise, I'd be trusting you for that fact. And I don't know. I'd rather ask.
Okay, we ready to get started? Jason, you ready?
Ready to go. Good to go.
Guys, you ready?
Mm-hmm. Do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it is 6:30 on Tuesday night. We are live on YouTube as we are every Tuesday night. Tonight we are joined by Jason Flores from Trail Wolves and Rodeo X Rigs. How are you doing tonight, man?
Doing well, man. Thank you guys for having me.
No, thanks for coming on.
Sure.
We were just chatting about the fact that you're a couple hundred yards away from us, and just on on the other side of the city line. We didn't realize how close you were. But tell the listeners where you're at.
I'm actually in Ontario Ranch.
So that is the area between Old Ontario and Eastvale, and it's. I was just telling Jason I was in Ontario Ranch for lunch today, getting me some Jersey mics. So how long have you been there? How long have you been in that area?
I want to say maybe 5 years, 6 years. When that new development stuff.
Yep.
So
that whole area. So this whole area from Ontario all the way down to Norco, Corona.
It was nothing.
Nothing. It was
Farms.
nothing but dirt and fields and farms and dairies and cow land. And now it's
all houses.
Tons of brand new houses and retail.
So I would think, like, your lawn must grow, like, really well because of, like,
Okay.
is that true?
No joke. This is not a joke. At my first house, I was just telling these guys.
And that's because it's, like, all cow pastures and stuff, right? Or dairies. Okay.
At my first house, when you bought the house brand new, there's nothing in the backyard. It's all dirt. I went around to the side of my house, and I'm like, what's that? And this giant vine was growing, and I had a full cucumber patch just sprouting up on the side yard because apparently there was cucumbers there before.
Wow.
So that was, we ripped that up, put concrete in, built a pool.
But is that factual? Do you guys, your lawns grow really well because of, you buy manure for your lawn or whatever? You guys just had it.
Really
You bought your house.
It really depends because
I was asking Jason.
Oh.
Oh yeah. I mean, the grass does seem greener. So yeah, for sure. And the smell is still here. So.
And now, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's not like the rocky, dry Fontana dirt that you're used to.
100%.
I didn't mean it as an insult. I just want to know. You guys must have amazing grass. Your grass does look nice.
My grass is fake.
I know.
I had someone the other day mention that about how good my lawn is, and I was like,
the nicest yard.
It's all fake. Growing up here in Southern California, you said that you've lived in a couple different places. Tell me about what kind of. I'm going to make an assumption. Growing up in Southern California, the off-road lifestyle has been part of kind of around you at least. Tell me about that. Tell me about you and off-roading. Like when did you start doing some of that stuff?
Well, that kind of started back when, when I was like a teen. We used to have the ATCs before the ATVs, right? The three-wheelers. And we used to go out. My dad would take us out. We'd go camping a lot, Yosemite, the Grand Canyons, things like that. Until one day, one of my dad's buddies, I guess he was going over a rock, and you know how those things are kind of unstable. He put his foot out kind of like he was riding a motorcycle or a dirt bike, and his leg got caught under the wheel and it pulled him off and broke his leg. And, from then on, mom was like, hey, you got to get rid of these things. Yep. So, then we started riding. My neighbor had those, you remember those old Honda Pilots?
Yep.
The single seaters, little single seater buddy. Yeah. So we used to ride those, until he sold those. So that's kind of like where, the off-roading kind of started. And then it just kind of went on, life happened after that. But that's kind of like the start of the whole off-roading thing.
So when was that? When were you a teenager?
Ooh, man, I don't want to really show my age, but yeah, that was back in like, I was like,
you don't have to answer,
Jason. What is like the 90s?
Oh, see, well, he's younger than you and I.
Yeah, we're close in age. We're not too far off.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember all those things he was talking about.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't.
Yeah. And what's funny too is it was in Corona and Corona was like it wasn't even built yet. So we lived in a new housing development, and the shopping center and all that type of stuff wasn't there. So there was a bunch of dirt fields. So we'd even jump on like the little Suzuki 80s and, take them all around there before they started building homes and stuff, man.
Yeah,
so
I don't remember how or why, but I remember being down in Corona on our bikes when we were like in junior high school. Somebody must have moved down there or whatever. And you could ride around just like in Chino, you could ride around everywhere. Everything was some kind of development. There was nothing around there. You could get lost for hours on your BMX bike. Through that entire area.
I was told to get lost for hours. That was my parents like, hey, get the hell out of the house. Why don't you go ride your bikes down in Chino,
Yeah, that's back then when it was safe, right?
Well, yeah, we were different back then. It was like nobody wants those ratty ass kids.
Yeah.
I used to ride my bike down to the 7-Eleven and play Street Fighter, hang out in the lobby for hours.
Dude, don't get me started on Street Fighter 2. That was the thing back in the day.
Yes.
I've told Tammy this story in Chino, right at Euclid and Walnut. There's a Carl's Jr. and it was like the first Carl's Jr. that had the all you can drink refills, right?
Oh,
and I remember
now you're really dating yourself.
My buddy lived in the housing tract on the other side of the road. We would ride our skateboards over to his house and skate behind the pizza parlor, behind all of there. We'd go to Carl's Jr. We'd get a cup, we'd drink, and then remember the newspaper dispensers. We'd hide the cup under the newspaper dispenser, go skate for another couple hours, come back, get the cup, and drink. We would drink all day long on one cup at Carl's Jr. in that area because it was the first one to have that.
You know what? Come to think of it, like I think that's America's obesity problem is probably related directly to free refills on like sodas. Dude.
It's 100%.
Back in the day, it was like, can I have a refill? And you have to walk up to the counter.
And this is a large. Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's not the fact that it's 64 ounces.
When's the last time you bought a soda at the It's bad at the movie theaters when I'm like, no, man, just a medium. That's too big. I don't need
too beaucoup.
Well, big gulps, right? At 7-Eleven, that was a big thing. A big gulp was 32 ounce. No, super before big. Super big gulp.
Mm-hmm. Just 64. I think it's 64 ounces, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of soda.
That was a lot of soda. It is. Talk to me about the transition from ATCs and that kind of thing and the little Hondas to what was your first off-road vehicle?
Actually, my first off vehicle was an MDX, just to see what it could do.
MDX?
Yeah, it was an actual Acura MDX, man. That was like all-wheel drive. It was like, I picked it off one of my neighbors, and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna try to off-road this thing.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of this thing.
How did it do?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it actually did better than I thought it would. It wasn't bad. I mean, it would get stuck here and there, but with enough momentum, it was making it up, certain hills and stuff. So
what kind of was it like an all-wheel drive? What kind of transmission was in it?
Yeah, it was just an all-wheel drive MDX, I think it was like a 2008 or something like that. So it wasn't, it was just something fun. And then I ended up selling that, and then getting a GX.
Okay.
So the GX is kind of like my thing now, and then after that I got a Tundra. So, which is the next project, but, yeah, that's kind of like the vehicles that I'm using right now.
That MDX, those all-wheel drive crossover SUVs, some of them do pretty well. You've seen the Volkswagen Touareg and some of these,
Yeah.
Well, we saw that Element when we went to.
Yeah, that's right.
I saw Sienna kill it at Cleghorn.
Sorry. When I went to Death Valley.
Yeah, that's right. When you went to Death Valley.
Yeah, there was a Honda Element just driving around, just like, what?
We were someplace and there was a Mazda CX-5 bombing up a hill, and I was like, F&A, go for it! Like, and now Mazda's got the CX-50, which is a more off-road terrain.
Is it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's their version of the Trailhawk, the Renegade Trailhawk. It's
Is that off-road worthy?
I think so. What year is your GX?
It's a 2011. So, I mean, it's a 460. So it's pretty much, they're pretty much all the same. Toyota's very conservative with those frames, but
yeah.
Yeah, just different cosmetics from the newer ones. But yeah, it's great. I mean, I installed because, they all have crawl control capabilities or whatnot. So all you got to do is get the switches from overseas. It's got the brain. So now I swapped out all the switches and stuff. So it's good, man. I mean, I've had any issues with it at all.
Well, and they're the new hotness, right? Over the last couple years, people have figured out that all of the Forerunner products fit on that chassis, and you're getting all of the luxury, all of the amenities in a vehicle that was probably a grocery getter, prior.
It's a V8 Forerunner.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
basically,
yes.
It's a V8 Forerunner, and what's the other one that's the V8 Land Cruiser?
The Prado,
the bigger one.
The LX.
The LX, yeah. So the
different V8 though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's if you wanted a Land Cruiser, if you wanted an 80 series but wanted a vehicle that went more than 12 miles an hour, you go with the Lexus.
Yeah, but the GX in the rest of the world is sold as a Land Cruiser Prado.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's like a Land Cruiser Junior.
Yes, is what it is for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean they're super capable vehicles, and you've seen a lot of aftermarket support for them pop up over the last 5 years. And I think we kind of talked about it at one point where their resale value skyrocketed because of it over the last handful of years, because people now know, oh, this is an off-road vehicle, you can charge more.
Yeah, that's when everybody started, following old people home with the 470s, asking if they want to sell them.
Hey, you want to buy that from you?
I'll give you like
$5,000
for
sure.
It's like 80,000 miles.
Yeah,
dealer maintained.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, just gems, right? Because that 4.7 liter, I guess, was manufactured in a certain factory in Japan, and they even have some of those engines that were documented to do almost 1 million miles. So they're solid.
Wow,
they're pretty solid.
I mean, I would imagine you've got Toyota engineering, and one of my issues with Toyota vehicles is the lack of amenities and comfort. And you take that Toyota engineering and then add all of the amenities and comfort that Lexus puts in the vehicles, and now you've got probably one of the best combinations of vehicle available.
Yeah, definitely.
Jose, I'm waiting for you to say something.
No comment. Hey man,
you got a GX2, Jose, or no?
No, I have a 94 Land Cruiser.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's slow, heavy, it wastes a lot of gas, but I never get stuck, and I always make it home.
Mm-hmm. I think they built those.
Jose looked at me like, for some reason, ha ha.
Yeah, yeah. You always make it home too.
Yeah, I don't know what. Okay, true. He does make it home, even though I don't know where you live anymore. I just assume you make it home. You could be stopping off at the Arco there on Sierra and the 215, for all I know.
Don't even know.
I don't.
So you've got the GX, and you said you also have a Tundra?
I do. I have a Gen 2 Tundra.
What year is that?
07.
Okay.
The Gen 2s, I think, went from '07 to, I want to say, what, 12 maybe, or 11 before they went to the 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
And-
Toyotas are your thing. You're into the
Yeah.
Toyota products. What's the plan with the Toyota? I mean, with the Tundra, you said it's a kind of a new project.
Yeah, so that one I want to definitely go like more like the GFC route. Put the tent, some for
Oh,
the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that way you pull up at the events and stuff, and they have somewhere to hang out, and stuff like that. So
Right.
I'm worried about them getting lost.
Yeah, like you, we've all talked about which route to go.
100 conversations, man.
Yeah, there's
And-
so many ways.
And
Rabbit holes, man.
Yeah, and every week it's like, nope, I'm getting a trailer this week. Next week I'm getting a GFC camper. Nope, next week I'm getting one of the Scouts.
You're like, I'm
or
just gonna get a
one of the
nice
off-road
ground tent.
overland campers.
I'm just gonna get a nice shift pod ground tent and call it a day.
Yeah.
But then you're just like, no. But for that price, it just turns into a whole thing.
No, for
it's
sure.
definitely a whole thing. So how long have you had the Tundra?
That one I only had maybe a year now.
Okay.
So yeah, I just picked that one up. I had a Tesla actually. I actually got rid of the Tesla for the Tundra.
Usually it's the other way around.
I went
Good choice.
backwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually it's the other way around.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Tesla. It was probably the funnest car to ever drive, but just because of how fast it was. But yeah, I mean, for me, for what I'd like to do, and it just made better sense.
I just feel like, especially in this area, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like
You're wrong.
The Tesla has just become the minion of cars. Like it's like
they're
everywhere.
almost like the Volkswagen Bug.
Yes, they are
back in the day.
They're everywhere now. They all look exactly the same. Today, I
100%.
saw a Tesla that had a wrap on it and a wing, and it had full, like it was full,
I
and I
get
was
it.
like, "That's cool." Every other Tesla, it's the same exact vehicle.
I know, bro. But until you drive one, you'll be like, fuck. The moment you guys drive one, you're gonna be like, fuck, dude. This is.
Wait,
this is
you're assuming I'm ever gonna drive one.
Well,
or
it-
be
look,
able
I'm
to
just
have
And
that
saying-
I've been
ability.
in them. I've
Look,
driven one.
look.
I drove one of the big ones with the dual engines. Fun as shit.
yeah, bro. But it's
I
like,
will die. I will die and be in jail. I drive like a jackass in my 4-cylinder truck.
I know.
You
but,
put me in something that's got a rocket ship attached to it.
dude. But a Tesla, yes, they're all like cookie cutter, 100%. But, dude, you just get in it and you go, and you go. You don't even think about it. It's the best commuter car ever made.
It's
Yeah.
it's the new mindless metal coffin. Like that's what it is to
100
me.
yeah,
Like
100
it's just
I think drawing back to the Volkswagen comparison, like the Beetle, like they you saw them in America, like in the 40s, 50s, they started showing up, and then all of a sudden it was like everywhere. You saw Volkswagen.
Matt, if you drove a
60s,
Tesla to
70s.
work,
Oh, you're not listening to the comparison I'm making. You're just clearly I'm not comparing driving a Tesla to a Volkswagen. I'm saying
I'm not.
I see Teslas on the highway like I used to see Volkswagens back in the day.
back in the 40s
You just
and 50s
saw
when you were-
Volkswagens because they ran forever and people bought them cheap from the 50s. They were still running. There's nothing to them. They're just like a simple vehicle. They were cheap and you could still buy them into the 70s. The Super Beetles, whatever that was. Like it was just a few more cc's,
Yeah.
whatever, a couple more
and
horsepower.
independent front suspension.
Okay, I didn't mean to get into a Volkswagen battle with you, Jose. I don't know that much about Volkswagens. I'm just saying, you saw Volkswagens forever, and now I can see that comparison. Like, I see Teslas if I counted,
it's
it'd
the
be
ultimate
at least,
commuter car, bro.
yeah, it would. I would say I for sure confidently could say I could at least 20 to 40 Teslas on the highway, different Teslas from here.
It could be the
That's
same
on my
Tesla. You don't know.
And that's true.
I mean, I gotta admit the Tesla did spoil me though, because like getting in and out of the car without ever using the key, you're using your cell
yeah,
phone,
dude, you just walk up
the
to it.
screen, like yeah, you get spoiled, man.
I
All right,
get that.
fancy guys.
I get that.
I still
F it.
have.
I don't want one. I don't. I have no desire. I have no desire. I'm not gonna go any further. It's. I'm glad that you got the Tundra.
You stick with your
F-
Ford.
F the
That's
Tesla.
what you should be trying. And
How's
shut
the-
up, Jose.
how's the
I don't want to
Explorer,
hear
Matt?
about it. God damn it. I'm going to sell that thing.
Might as well. It's not like she's driving it.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
She won't even let me drive it. It's horrible.
So the how do you choose which one you take out, the GX or the Tundra?
So well, now the my Tundra's like more of the daily now. So
Okay.
my GX is kind of built for like just trailing.
What kind of
And
mods
so
you
I
got?
try to keep the miles down on that one.
What kind of mods you got done to your GX?
So it's got the king suspension, the wheels, tires, sliders, front bumper, all those stuff, and then the interior, rocking like a gear plate with refrigerator, tables, all that type of stuff. So it's kind of built just to, and then the roof rack is actually, I have it like modular, which is kind of cool. So I built it where you can swap the roof easily to put your rooftop tent on, or you just want to run the Roam cases. Depends if we're just going to go trail that day, or if we're going to go trail for like 3 or 4 days. Then you can like the gear plate switch up. If you're going to put your Pro Eagle jack mounted in there versus like a drawer or whatnot. So it's kind of cool. I just made it to, because there's not a lot of room in the GXs. There's actually more cargo space in the Forerunners than there are GXs
Oh,
and Land
really?
Cruisers and things like that. Yeah. So, for the 460, you have to get pretty tricky with how you set it up when you go out. So, I kind of keep trying to keep it modular, and that's what kind of led me to the GFC, because I was like, the GFC is like the perfect thing for any truck.
Yeah.
You get the whole cabin space, and the down below, it's kind of like two-story apartment,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then you get the whole bed upstairs, right? So it's actually a good, awesome thing to have.
Um, so with that, so you've got the obviously the vehicles, you've got a history of off roading and everything
Mhm.
behind you. Talk to me about Trail Wolves. When did Trail Wolves start and why? And if you guys haven't already, you can go to trailwolves.store to their website or Trail Wolves on Instagram to check out what they've got there.
Yep. So in 2018, as on one of my last deployments, I ended up getting injured. On one of my last deployments, I ended up hurting my or needing surgery on my knee. So I came back, and it was, I didn't, and it was during COVID time, so I really didn't even get to have surgery until like late 2019.
Mm-hmm.
But when I finally had surgery, I'm sitting on the couch, and usually I'm an active person. I like to get out and do things and stuff like that. So it was driving me crazy. And my wife was like, you know what, just do something, that you can do while you're on the couch, or, on crutches, right? So I'm like, all right. So, I remember being on a trail, and I was trailing with some buddies, and they were like, hey, you know what we should start a crew. And I was like, it'd be a cool name, because I was always into wolves, right? Because I really loved the traits that wolves have, right? Like, I mean, they're sociable creatures, they're family oriented, and but they can be lone wolves if they need to be, right? So they possess a lot of like really good traits. So I was like, what would be cool as a trail wolf? And it was just like, that sounds kind of cool. I was just like, yeah. So it's always been in the back of my mind, right? And so, I'm sitting on the couch, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and start this thing called Trail Wolves. So I was actually at a family party one
That's how it
day,
starts,
and
dude.
yeah, right. And I was at a family party one day, and do you guys remember that clothing line LRG?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it just so happens that my cousin, was one of the designers for that before they sold it, right? And so he was like, I was telling him the idea, and he was like, hey man, you know what? Let me drop some designs for you, and then we'll kind of go from there. And one thing led to another, and I was like, what, I'm just going to design stuff that I like and stuff that I feel like that's not really out there, especially in the off-road scene, and kind of try to combine things. And here we go, and next thing you know, we're where we are. So it kind of grew pretty fast. I've been blessed that the right timing too. I could say during the pandemic and stuff was a good time to start stuff, especially in hobby type stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
things kind of worked out, man. Just been blessed to be, everybody jumped on board and had a good circle of people and family and stuff. So that's kind of where that came from.
And looking at the Trail Wolves site, you clearly expand beyond just off roading. You've got mountain biking on there. You got
Yeah.
clothes. You got all kinds of stuff. Some really cool designs. The Trail Busters design that looks like the Ghostbusters vehicle. I mean, uh, tell me about that. Tell me how that expanded from just off roading to some of the other things that you're doing.
Well, like, so we were out on a trail too, and then one of my buddies' tires, he deflated too low, and he ended up debeating on one of the offshoots. So we're out there in the hot sun, trying to figure out, like, we had to winch it up, and then we had to pull this tire off, and we're jumping on the wheel, trying to get the tire to get back on so we could fill it back up with air. And I'm just thinking, like, this is a tale, right? So every time you go on a trail, there's always a tale, right? You come back either like something happened bad, something was good, or like, you something happens where you remember, right? And so that's where we came up with the idea of like trail tales. And so it was like, hey, what's cool? There's all kinds of stories out there that if you see like we started like, stories are everything, right? And so, we decided to like bring in, I'm a collector at heart too. I'm kind of like an undercover nerd, so I've always collected things. And, I've always been like big Batman Joker fans, and you see there's a shirt in there for Batman and Joker, and then, Ghostbuster fans, stuff like that, used to find me at Frankincense all the time. So,
Nice.
so yeah, so like I just, just bringing everything that I loved into under one umbrella is basically what I was doing, right? And then, but also trying to tell a story with each design. So every design that we do, I always go over it with my cousin, like, hey, okay, so I want to do this type of design, and this is why. And we always put like a story behind it, and so that's the reason behind all of that type of stuff. So, and so it just kind of worked out that way, So, and then it kind of led to the Rodeo X stuff.
So that was going to be my next thing. So you've got
Yeah.
all this background in off-roading, and then the design stuff and the shop with Trail Wolves. Where and when did Rodeo X come into the mix?
So we came back. It's again coming back from a trail. I think it was Cleghorn that day, and we came back and we went and had lunch here at Rodeo X in Ontario, and we're sitting there, and one of my buddies is like, this would be a perfect place for a meet. And I was like, I looked around and I was like, you know what, it would.
Yeah.
So I went and talked to the manager or whatnot, and then we decided to do our first meet, just amongst friends and kind of put it out there. And then we ended up having almost like 150, almost maybe a little under 200 rigs show up.
Yeah, I remember that because
You have a lot of friends.
I
I don't
don't
even know that many people, let alone friends.
But I remember that first one because I was like, we're getting invaded by Tacomas and Forerunners, and like, what's going on that I'm not aware of? How am I missing this? And you guys were all heading that direction, and one of my neighbors was like, how come you're not down over at the Ontario Ranch? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, there's tons of trucks that look just like yours parked over there. And you're right. So if you guys don't know, the Rodeo X, it's in a shopping center, and all around the shopping center, there's Stater Brothers and Carl's Jr. and Jersey Mike's and Pio Pico's Tacos. There's a taco shop there that I absolutely love, Pio Pico's Tacos. And in the center is this thing called Rodeo X, and it's like, picture the food court of
Can
a
I
mall.
get some free tacos just by you mentioning
I
that place?
wish.
Because
I
I feel
would-
like
I wish
I
we
would
were
like
pres-
to try. Yes.
I want to be sponsored by Pio Pico's Tacos.
Yes.
That's how good they are.
Okay.
So in the center is this building that looks like the food court of a mall, and it's got all like a beer bar. It's got a bunch of different food stuff.
What?
Yeah.
That's, what kind of
Where's
mall are we talking about?
I'm telling
That's
you.
my
Is
type
that
of mall.
Valhalla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right. I remember thinking the same thing. This would be a cool place because it's got an outdoor seating area, plenty of parking all the way around. That's awesome. So
Yeah.
when was that? That was only a year ago, maybe not even that long.
Yeah, because we're only going on volume 6 on this next one. So that was volume 1. So it was like last year, and we were doing it quarterly.
Okay.
So, and then we decided. I was like, hey man, this turned out pretty great. All the businesses were happy. Pio Pico's was super happy. Like everybody sold out their food. It was good. And so we were like, let's do it again. So we did the second one, and it even grew even bigger. To I would think that one we did like 400 rigs, and then we just started expanding and pretty much eating up the whole lot. And then we did the Christmas event, which we did that with. So then we started thinking. I was like, I wanted to do something different, not just a regular meet or whatnot, but I wanted to kind of like the whole idea behind rodeo is rounding up, right? So we're Rodeo X Rigs. We wanted to round up the community for a cause. So we contacted the CHP, and we ended up doing a toy drive for Chips for Kids, and that was in December, and that one even went even bigger. I think we did like 500 or something rigs on that time. And then we got to a point where the Stater Brothers was like, hey man, you can't keep doing this over here anymore, because we're just eating up. I mean, there was cars parked on sidewalks and just parked everywhere, right? And so they were getting complaints from everybody that used to shop on Sundays and stuff. So we had to move it from there. But it's been a blessing, because then it kind of forced us to grow, because they forced us to kind of move, and we did. So we decided to take it on the road, and then we moved it around the different locations. Like we did Long Beach, we did Garden Grove, which was awesome because when we did Garden Grove, we linked up with King because King is from Garden Grove, and then they brought the huge truck out and stuff. So that was awesome.
Wow.
And then from Garden Grove, which is cool because it's right by City Hall at Steelcraft, and so the city backed us up on all that type of stuff. They were happy. And then we ended up moving to Long Beach just for a bigger space. And then we outgrew that one too because Long Beach was like, yeah, this is too big. Because I think that one we did like 750 rigs. And then now we're moving this year. We're going to end up doing Ontario. And then we're going to go to San Francisco and then back then in San Diego. So we're actually taking Rodeo X Rigs on the road now. So
that's awesome. So the Ontario one, that's happening Sunday, April 2nd from 8 to noon at Crown Toyota in Ontario, right off the 15 freeway, 1201 Kettering Drive in Ontario. So if you guys aren't familiar, the Ontario Auto Center is really big. The Crown Toyota is right in the center of all of it, and it's a big lot. Are they moving a bunch of vehicles to give you that lot?
Yeah, actually they are. So they're actually, and just by luck again, like I said, it was just they happen to be the largest, I guess, land owning Toyota dealership in Southern California, or actually I don't even know the nation, but Southern California or California for sure.
I think they're the third largest in volume in the country. They're not. It's not a small Toyota dealership.
No, they have like 1,500 parking spaces. So, but we're gonna eat up, I think, like 500 of those because we have, I think, just under 100 vendors on this one. So, yeah, we're gonna be able to
just under 100.
Yeah, just under 100. So I think we should be good to hopefully do the 1,000 rigs this time around.
Yeah. Wow. So looking at the announcement for it, so it's a off-road overland meet benefiting the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Food and prizes free to the public, family friendly, all rigs welcome. What kind of things can people expect from the Rodeo X Rigs on April 2nd in Ontario?
So our main goal with Rodeo X now has grown to like bring the community together for a cause. We did the CHP Chips for Kids. Then we did multiple sclerosis, raise money for multiple sclerosis organization. Then we did autism. This year we teamed up with LLS because of cancer. So I myself, I have cancer. Actually, I'm actually fighting cancer now. I actually just had chemo yesterday. That's why I'm kind of like just chilling right now. Yeah. But so like it's kind of like my cousin had passed from leukemia right before I got diagnosed, and then I got diagnosed with lymphoma. So it was like a match made in heaven for us to work with Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So my whole thing is basically to kind of bring awareness, to cancer patients or to their families, people, because it's rough. I was blessed to have, family and friends and stuff help me out, but to go through it on your own would probably be really tough. So LLS actually gives money back.
And it's and maybe I'm wrong in this, but I feel like we're at the point where everybody knows somebody or is related to somebody who has had a battle with cancer, right? My uncle died of cancer. My mom, by the skin of her teeth, made it through a cancer treatment. And it's one of those, it's like, it's so common now that I bet people don't realize how many people they know in their lives that are fighting that battle.
When I go to these transfusion centers, like it opened up my eyes because I was like, whoa, like it's literally like a factory. Mm-hmm. As soon as one person leaves the chair, another person's coming in, and this is like all day, right? Like I'm asking the nurses, and there's just so many different cancers. Like even colon cancer is like huge now. Mm-hmm. Even for younger guys. So when it never was, right? So I don't know. I mean, I never really thought of it that way until I actually went through it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, holy cow, man, it's tons of people.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of like really drove the drive. Like, you know what, let's team up with LLS. Let's do something good for this community for this year. And we'll fundraise throughout the whole year for this organization. So
are you guys accepting donations, doing raffles, doing how can people contribute to the LLS Society?
So there's a couple ways. So we did a shirt design. And so partial of those proceeds will go towards the organization. Also, we're going to do a 50-50 raffle, which half of that will go towards the organization. And then we also are going to do a regular raffle, which includes a bunch of prizes from, companies like Iron Man and things like that. And then that will go towards the organization as well. And what's really cool is that Toyota of Crown decided to donate money and also match up to a certain point of what we raise as well. So
That's awesome.
Very cool.
it just all kind of worked out the way it was supposed to. So
yeah, kudos to Crown Toyota for that. And Crown Toyota has been part of the Inland Empire community. I mean, Matt, when was that auto center opened? I mean,
early 90s, mid 90s.
Yeah,
I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they
25 years at least. Yeah.
But they've been in this Inland Empire community and been a staple in the Inland Empire community for a very long time. That's awesome of them to participate and give back.
oh yeah, definitely. I think just on what was even cooler is like what you said. They're actually the top seller of Tacomas, Tundras, and Sequoias in the nation. So it kind of even that was like another double whammy that worked out. It was just meant to happen, man.
It's
you know what I mean?
Yeah, the truck and SUV market here in Southern California is dumb sauce, right?
Yeah.
People talk about truck country, they talk about Texas, but it's a very different type of truck country there than what we have. Going through your social media posts here, talking about people that are going to be at the event. Iron Man will be there. Jesse Rizzo will be there. We talked to him last week about it a little bit. You've got Low Air Don't Care. The Low Pressure Crew is going to be there. Church of Dirt, Garage Alpha Off-Road, Goose Gear, Tiny Rig Co., Toyota Joe, Rig Talk. Those guys are cool. Haven't seen them in a long time. AJC, which is something James Customs.
James Customs.
KC Lights, Cali Toyotas, the Tint Lab. I'm going to just start scrolling through a bunch of people. AV Overland, we've talked to him before. Front Runner King, Total Chaos, HK Off-Road. HK Off-Road, fun fact, was my second interview in
right on.
2016. I believe they were episode number 2 when they had just started their shop. OEM Audio Plus, we've interviewed them. Pro
They're
Eagle.
still around. You didn't ruin them.
I didn't wreck them at all. Icon Vehicle Dynamics, we know those guys. There's no shortage of names and products, representation of the community and brand. There's no shortage of that for this event, man. That's amazing that you've been able to pull all this together.
It wasn't easy. I gotta say it was the team, man. I can't take credit for any of that stuff, really, man. Like I said, I'm just blessed to be surrounded by good people. The team that does their part. Everybody has their own mission and stuff like that. So,
well, speaking of that, how long ago did you decide this event was happening, and what was that ramp up time? So you finished the last event when, and then how long have you been planning this one?
So this one took about. It's been rough because it's been in between chemo treatments. Mm-hmm. So this one I took about maybe like a month out is when we started planning this one.
Wow. You pulled all that together in a month?
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but we needed to get one done because we were so late in the game because of, that I just couldn't at the time. So we were kind of behind the curve, and I had to make sure we stayed within a calendar because now we even have to do it 3 times a year instead of 4 times a year. Which we changed it up where now we're just going to do down, Southern California, down in San Diego and in the Bay Area. And from here on out, 3 times a year. And hopefully I'm crossing my fingers, maybe making our way into Vegas. But, right now we're just going to do it 3 times a year and go from there.
And we're getting right into the right season for this, right? It's just hitting the expo season, the prep season. Everybody wants to get. It's been dumping rain here in Southern California, which for most of you around the country doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. But for us,
that's the norm.
Yeah, for us, it's like
we have to get used to it. It's not normal for us.
Well, it's like claustrophobia sets in, and like you haven't seen the sunshine.
For me, it made me realize I don't want to live in Washington.
No,
up north.
I told you I spent after the second trip to my office in Portland. I'm like, F this place. I'm not coming back.
If it's like that all year round, no.
Well, I remember I was like, oh my God, it's gorgeous, and they were like, enjoy it, because you've got about 10 days of this, and the rest of the time it's not like that. But right now, weather's starting to turn. People want to get out because they've been stuck inside in the rain. They're getting ready for their spring and summer trips. I mean, this is a perfect time to start these types of events and gatherings, for the community.
Yeah, they're all over the place. I mean, you just scroll through Instagram and there's like meets all the time, coffee rigs everywhere.
There were 2 last weekend. We were at one. There's this weekend. There's basically from here until July. There's going to be something every weekend.
Well, it used to be like, okay, to start off the year was King of Hammers.
Yeah.
And then like the next big thing was Overland Expo West. But now it's like they're filling in that void now. And now, like the whole year, there's something. There's always going to be there's always something now.
Which, on one hand, you could say, oh, there's too much to do. But on the other hand, that's pretty damn awesome that our community is big enough and cohesive enough and engaged enough to be able to do these types of events on a regular basis. Because, the 1,000 rigs you get here this weekend, there's going to be some of those rigs that were at the YOLO wheeling event last weekend, or that were that are going to go to the wheeling. There's going to be a whole new group of people that couldn't make it to the last event. You know what I mean? It's the
like the show circuit is massive now.
Yeah,
so
and it's strong though. It's like, when people put on good events, other people want to show up to them, right? When you've got an event like this that's benefiting a good charity, that's bringing all of these top tier brands together, that you're like, hell yeah, I'm going to go. It's right in the heart of the Inland Empire off-road overland scene.
I mean, you have like three major freeways that connect that dealership. You have it's off the 15, but the 10 and the 6, it's right in between the 10 and the 60. So it's like centralized to everywhere. Yeah.
Head north on the 15 freeway. If you just look to the right, you'll see it. It's in between the 10 and the 60 off
Except if you're in Hesperia.
You
want to
go
go south.
I'm talking.
Right?
Look, I'm talking to the majority of people.
The
people in Southern California. I mean, in Orange County. Everybody in the Inland Empire knows where Crown Toyota is. Okay. For those people on the other side of the hill,
Hesperia?
the fancy people.
Hesperia, you gotta tell them.
No, Hesperia people know.
They have Valley High too.
Ontario to go south, to Ontario.
If you're in the high desert, come south.
I'm worried about you guys. Make sure you get there.
So the event starts at 8. What's the? Do you have an itinerary, like raffles at this time? Like have you put all that stuff together yet?
The raffle, we're working on doing it a little different, where we kind of group it together. Usually like the regular raffles, it's usually at the end of every event, but I kind of feel like a lot of the crowd usually is, clears out by the end of the event. Right. So like maybe raffles every hour, stuff like that, just to keep people engaged and stuff like that. So, so that way you don't have to get stuck waiting for 4 hours in order to see if you won.
Yeah.
So
I totally agree with that. We at the event we just emceed an event 2 weeks ago, and that's what we did. There was 3 raffles throughout the course of the day, different prizes at each raffle. And to your point, if someone shows up at 8 o'clock in the morning and they want to, they don't have to wait till 5. You know what I mean? Like it made it. I think it made it better for the participants.
Yes, definitely.
So this event coming up, this is going to be an awesome event. Obviously, it's going to be. My expectation is because of the work that you guys have done, the vendors you have, and the promotion you've been doing, it's going to be well attended. What would be a successful event for you once this, at the end of the day on the 2nd, like when you sit back, what would make you think it was successful?
That LLS was happy, because that's the main thing, right? Is just getting an awareness out. Because, another thing too is like, there's when you think about ribbons, right? When you think about breast cancer is the one everybody knows because a lot of celebrities made it very popular and things like that, did fundraisers and stuff. Right. But you don't know, there's like 100 different colors for all the different cancers that are out there. Right. So we want to kind of just bring awareness to what orange is or to what the lime green is. Right. Like, just kind of just help get the information out there and stuff, or even just offer services for families that might, because when I first got it, I didn't even know like what to expect, but it would have been kind of cool if somebody would have educated on me exactly what type of cancer I have and what if I eat a bunch of sugar, that sugar feeds it and things like that, right? Like the doctor will give you just a little bit and just try to take care of you, but there's no really like schooling or even for the family to understand because they go through it too, right? So my wife and everybody's all freaking out, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's just one of those things where I think just education and offering help to cancer families and stuff like that would be successful, and then at the same time coming in, hanging out and checking out some cool rigs, right? So like I think that's pretty much like the goal at the end of the day. So
That's a very commendable goal, and I would imagine, again, with the amount of engagement you've had so far and the vendors and the attendance, I'm sure you're going to be happy at the end of the day. I don't. There's a lot of these events that happen, and the one we were at 2 weeks ago was benefiting Children's Hospital of Orange County, and this one is LLS, and then the next one's going to be something else, and that's another part of the community and these events that we talk about is the off-road overland community is always willing to give back, whether it be toy drives or canned food drives or fundraisers. It's a very family-oriented community that wants to help, right? And I think a lot of times you see things in the news or we read about trails that are getting messed up and some of the dumb things that happen out there. But on the whole, our community is pretty damn awesome. And if you reach out and say, hey, everybody, we need to raise awareness for X or raise funds for Y, you're gonna get positive feedback on that.
No, it is. It's amazing. Like like I said, it's just all been a blessing, man. Just to fall back into things that stuff that I used to love to do as a kid, and just to be here now, right? So, yeah, it's been awesome, man. Even just to be on this show, man. Guys like you keeping it moving, keeping it going, stuff
you'll
like
regret this. You'll regret this later.
There's no way.
You're gonna listen to this later and be like, "That was a bad idea.
That was a giant
Who convinced
mistake.
me to do this? This is I am now tainted." So after the second, how long before the San Francisco event kicks off?
So the San Francisco event will be August, September, be like late August, early September. We haven't decided which weekend yet, but that's the better weather in the Bay Area. You don't want to get rained in, anything like that. And then San Diego will be November, like end of November, early December, because it's even though it's cold everywhere else, it's usually beautiful in San Diego. So yeah.
And so I'm assuming as soon as you're done with this one, you're going to start the planning process all over again for these other ones.
Yes. We will.
And I mean, it's you have these connections with these vendors that you're already working with, but a lot of those vendors are local. They're those ones are here in Southern California. They may not make that trek up to the Bay Area, so you're going to have a whole challenge ahead of you. Finding people from Modesto North that are willing to make the drive, right? So anybody that knows of brands north of Fresno, let him know so he can connect with them and get them to the event.
No, definitely.
Have you guys picked out a spot for that one yet?
Yeah, we're probably gonna do another Toyota dealership up there.
Okay.
So and then luckily we have you guys know Stellar Built. So they're going to be one of the part of the whole event up north. So
I was gonna mention them, but I didn't know if you had already reached out to them or not. But that's really those guys do great work. They do really cool builds.
Morphlate and Snail Armors.
Yep, Morphlate, Snail Trail, Snail Armor up there. Wheeling Wine and Whiskey are up there. There's plenty of people up there for you to connect with. Let us know.
Definitely.
Let us know if you need any help with that.
Okay.
So between April this event and the September event, do you have any trail runs planned or trips or anything, or are you just kind of one weekend at a time trying to get all your ducks in a row for all the events you have coming up?
Yeah, well, we'll probably end up doing a Trail Wolf retreat after this. Before the next event, where I love Utah. So one of my favorite trails is the Barracks. So we might go out there. The whole crew. Just go out there with families and everything, hang out maybe for 3 or 4 days or whatnot, hit the Barracks Trail, Tokerville Falls, stuff like that, and just chill.
Where is the Barracks and what is it? I've only been to Utah once. I went to Moab and I don't know anything else about Utah.
Yeah, no, it's in St. George, which is south. So it's about 3 hours north of Vegas. Yeah, cool chill spots. They even have some glamping areas out there. You can, if the wife and the kids need to stay there while you go trailing, it's perfect. You know what I mean? So.
It's so funny you say that because when we made the trip to Moab, I remember like you leave Vegas and you get to Utah and you're like, no, you still have 4 hours to go to get from one corner of Utah to the other corner. So that's really not, it's a 6 hour drive from here, right?
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. If you haven't ever, I would recommend the barracks. The reason why I like it, because it has literally almost every element. Like you go through, the sand part of it, then you go through the forest part of it, and then you go through the canyons part of it, and you end up back in sand. It's really cool. It's a cool trail. It has like literally every element.
There's a Street Fighter zone that.
Right.
Yeah. So from here, it's 5.5 hours from our house to St. George.
Oh no,
Yeah.
St. George. We came back through St. George way back in the day. I went to Yellowstone, and it was just beautiful. And then I found out it's like per capita most golf courses, like per human being in the United States. And I thought that's where I want to retire. Like someday I just want to be. It's like mellow, lots of golf courses, not a lot of people. St. George.
Adam's always like, dude, it's only a 5-hour drive.
I know. Well, I was just gonna say it took us longer to get to Laughlin a couple years ago. We did the Mojave Trail. We used to do it on Memorial Day weekend, and it took Jose 9 hours to get from here to Laughlin.
It
It took me 6. I mean, we could have gotten to St. George at Utah in less time. It's funny. We don't do a good job of expanding
Anything.
No.
Period.
Full stop. But we don't, because our trips are so like last minute sometimes, and we don't do a good job of expanding beyond Southern California, and we're spoiled because we can, right? There's 1,000 places we could go in Southern California, but I definitely want to start expanding into, more of Nevada, more of Utah, back to Arizona.
Yeah, I mean,
I
that's
really
why
enjoyed.
we got to wait for Jose that whole time because he's doing 35 miles an
Yeah,
hour.
I don't know
the
now,
entire
guys.
trip.
I don't know now.
No, now he's just gonna follow us on the dirt bike.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And now he's gonna have to stop every three minutes for gas.
Yeah.
No, I just load it up on the Frontier, and then when we get to the trail, I won't ever see you guys again. But
Yeah, because you'll be behind us on the ground
Yeah,
the
I'll
whole
be-
time. You're
yeah,
not going to
it's
be out in front of us. And so Jose just got a motorcycle, and
I made a very bad decision.
and
yesterday.
we're pretty.
I made a
pretty-
very, very bad decision yesterday. I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
We're pretty certain he's going to die any minute now. Like he's not going to make it out alive.
You're on the right path. You made a good decision.
Yeah, we're kind of spoiled, man. Definitely, we're only 15 minutes from Lido Creek, and then you got Cleghorn and Pilot Rock, like right up the street.
Yeah.
You know?
All of Johnson Valley, all of Big Bear, all of Akatia Wells. I mean,
Anza,
with less
395,
than 3 hours, less than 3 hour radius, you're in some of the most epic off-roading in the country. And and we get spoiled, and so we're like, we'll just do a trip. I don't feel like driving any farther than that. But that's neither here nor there. What else? What are the kind of things? I mean, not that you don't have enough going on with Trail Wolves and Rodeo X and all of the other things that you're fighting through. Like, is there anything else you're looking forward to with the brands or with anything else?
Yeah, we're actually going to start like a trail series pretty soon, where we're going to be going out and documenting and videoing, different trails and stuff like that. So I don't know if you saw, we just recently did a collaboration with Falcon, and we did a Falcon commercial for them.
Oh, very
cool. Yeah, we're still kind of working on things like that. So, there's just a lot of stuff that we definitely want to get into, but again, it just takes manpower and stuff and time. So we're just kind of waiting that out.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
We've been waiting that out for 4.5, 5 years now. But yeah.
Are you? So are you? Is Trail Wolves and Rodeo X your full-time gig, or do you do other things during the day?
No, you actually do other things during the day. So, like I said, I was just deployed not too long ago. So, I'm still in the reserves. Just coming up pretty close to my 20 years, and then, and then I'm also a first responder out in the city of Los Angeles. So, but I've been off again because of cancer or whatnot. So
your ailments.
Yeah.
I had a buddy in high school that he went in the military at like 20 and retired at like 40, and then went into the private sector and made a killing,
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to work till I'm 80 because I've made bad decisions. But yeah, that 20-year mark, getting there on the military side, that's a huge accomplishment. Congratulations.
No, thanks, man. Yeah. So it's been awesome. Like I said, I've been blessed, all the way around. So.
Well, I am really hoping that we can we talked about it a little bit earlier before we started recording. We're going to try to make this work this weekend. We got a couple things we have to figure out internally to figure out who can be there at what time. And I'll talk to you some more later this week about it. But for sure, we will have we will be there in some capacity to support you guys and hang out. Anything else anybody needs to know other than go to trailwolves.com to our trailwolves.store to learn more about the Trail Wolves stuff. And then Rodeo X Rigs, you can find Rodeo X Rigs on Instagram, and then that will take you to rodeoxrigs.com to find out more about the events. Anything else you want to tell the listeners before we give you the rest of your night back?
No, just appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for having us on, and thank you for the community, man, for being so supportive on what we're doing. So
that's awesome, man. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it, and we hope to see you this weekend.
Sounds good, man. Thank you.
All right, we are going to end it there for the interview. Thank you so much, man. This was a really good conversation. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, we had chatted a little bit online about our ability to be at this event. We're trying to make that happen. I will probably tomorrow be able to finalize whatever our plans are and let you know. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, no worries. And you guys are always welcome no matter what. So yeah, anything you want to do.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So logistics, I will be editing this tomorrow night after work. I'll get it posted up on our media host. It will be ready for download Thursday morning on all major platforms. So hopefully this goes out Thursday, Friday. We get enough awareness Thursday, Friday, because we get a good chunk of our downloads the first 2 days, and we get some more awareness for the event for Saturday. I will send you an email Wednesday night once this is published I'll usually create a social media announcement, and I'll send you that so that we can promote the show and drive some more listeners to the downloads.
Okay.
But you've got my contact information. When I email you tomorrow, you'll have all my other contact information if you need it. And if anything comes up between now and Sunday, let us know. And otherwise, any other time you have an event you want to talk about or some cause that you're working on or whatever, don't hesitate to reach out, man. We'd love to talk to you again.
No, for sure, man. I appreciate you guys, man, for sure. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, man. You have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thanks,
Jason. You as well. Yep. I'll see you guys.
All right. That was awesome. Matt's got to go do his potty break.
I gotta pee.
We'll let Matt do his potty break, and then we'll get another section. Gives me a chance to bring up something I want to talk about. How's everybody doing in the chat room tonight, by the way?
Usual suspects are in there.
Making the usual comments?
Yes. There's some breaking news, too, that I just saw on Instagram.
Oh.
We'll wait till...
Okay, we'll wait.
Yeah.
Do I need to go to my Instagram to see it?
Oh, here. Yeah. That's pretty big, right?
Do we want to talk about that?
I mean, they posted it.
Yeah, but I don't know whether I want to.
Oh well, we're not trying to cast shade on it. It's just like, wow. All right, never mind. I bought a dirt bike.
I mean, we could talk about
it's a dual sport.
We could talk about that.
It's a dual sport. Yeah. I'm sure Betty White is gonna have some strong opinions about that.
About which one?
Me buying a motorcycle.
Oh. Well, he'll just follow you around.
I know.
He's like,
well, see
you
like,
soon, Jose.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, I'm like, hey, what do you think about motorcycles? Like, hey, dude, people always there's always organ donors.
Yeah,
we call you guys organ donors. All right.
I do want to check out Utah.
Yeah, man. Like hurricane. Is that how you say it? You're supposed to say hurricane.
Hurricane.
Hurricane. I think if you say hurricane, they like beat you up or something.
That my niece goes to Boise State, and she's like, no.
Yeah,
Boise.
Yeah,
you
like,
can't say if you
what's
say
his name
Boise.
From, he kept re-emphasizing how you say Boise.
Yeah. If you
look, bro, I'm in Idaho, right?
Yeah. if you say, she's like, if you say Boise when you first get there, they knock that out of you real quick. Like they know.
Sorry, I forgot his name, but from American Overland, the podcast, the guy we interviewed. Will. He kept re-emphasizing Boise.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, dude, I'm from SoCal,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Fuck, I'm in Idaho,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Nah, I don't. We're the fucking potatoes. I don't know.
Yeah. It's amazing we can pronounce the city that we do live in. Like. So Perry, he said.
Oh yeah. So
did you hear about the?
Well, I know they came out with a line of.
Well,
he
sent me a photo on. Okay, ready?
No.
All right. 3, 2, 1. So Perry sent a photo on Instagram of his new Milwaukee fridge and all the other stuff, and he said something about overkill, and I'm like, I don't see any overkill. And he just said in the chat room that he got the Makita fridge, the coffee maker, and he's been using them every day on a job site. He never thought he'd use them so much.
The mobile fridge is probably one of the best things that was ever created.
You know what's funny is I was having a conversation with a group of people in the industry, and we were talking about modifications, blah, 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 and they're like, what's your favorite modification? I said,
fridge.
My fridge. And he's like, what? I said, 100% my fridge, and I never thought I would say it.
So if you're getting into off-roading, it should be tires,
fridge.
Sliders. It's like a close second now. It's either sliders or fridge.
Yeah,
or the second.
Yes. Screw the sliders.
Yeah, you
just
know what?
get the fridge.
Yeah, just tires and fridge. That should be priority number 1 and 2.
It's so dumb how much I love my fridge. Like it's one of those things where you're like, I didn't think I was ever gonna be.
If you've never had it, you're like, you just know what you know, right?
Yeah.
But once you experience it, like if you borrow one or you see someone, you're like, how the hell did I ever do this?
So that's the video that's the picture that Perry sent.
Like, how the hell did I ever do this shit without this fridge? You know.
Yeah.
So how many batteries and how long?
Yeah.
What's the math there?
He's like, I only carry 15, 20 volts.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Like, all I gotta do, is buy out.
I carry 8
Home
Ryobi
Depot.
batteries with me, so I don't, whatever. And they worked this weekend or 2 weekends ago.
The Titan Pack.
I was gonna say, did we talk about the time?
We haven't. We need to do a full
recap,
full thing on the recap because last week we had the catastrophe.
Oh, that's right.
That I didn't get the chance to really talk about anything.
That's right.
And
that was a weird episode last week.
It was a very weird episode. Perry's saying he gets about 14 hours on 2 5-amp batteries. Very weird episode. A couple people have reached out asking me how the dog is, and the dog is not. The dog is. We said goodbye to Carlos on Thursday. Thank you for those that have reached out. It's very unfortunate. My wife is very sad, and it's one of those things that as a pet owner you deal with.
I'm sad,
but it was very sad. So at the YOLO wheeling event 2 weekends ago, we were in Featherly Park that has no electricity whatsoever. We were the MCs, so we ran
such a backwater, not backwater. I'm just saying, considering Yeah, there's no electricity, but there's amazing bathroom showers,
Yes.
like all that
Yeah.
stuff, right?
It's a RV park asterisk, like because
Well,
it's an RV park.
So there was an RV area that probably has full. I'm sure it has
Sure.
full hookups. The side of the park that we were
It
on,
was just park.
yeah, and
Underneath the 91.
yeah, and so we had to run
Everything.
wireless microphones,
Everything.
The
PA
PA
system, 2 speakers,
My CPAP, our
the-
party
the-
speaker.
the whole
Don't
thing.
forget about our
And
party speaker.
we used the Iron Man Titan pack to power that up. For
Everything
a
up.
full day. Yeah, a full
yeah,
day.
the one we just
One pack.
And it wasn't even charged all the way. It was
The
charged,
first
like-
day it was.
Oh, it was
The
Okay.
first day I was at 100%, and it ran everything all day for 8
Yeah.
solid hours.
music all day.
Music all day long. Wireless microphones.
PA,
charged
yeah,
my
everything.
phone.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it did everything.
The laptop.
And then I also had my Ryobi battery packs and the
Inverter.
And so in the evening, I used that to power up some lights, charge my phone, do some other stuff. And then I was experimenting with charging the Titan pack. I don't want to say downside to the Titan pack, but I think any of these battery packs is the recharge time.
Yeah,
It takes a
while.
long time. So in my truck, I've got a 110 outlet with
Even at home, it takes a while.
yeah. So when we were in Johnson Valley, I just plugged the Titan pack into the 110 outlet of my truck, and we're out wheeling for 8 hours. It eventually got charged back up, right? At the event, when we parked to camp, I let the car run for a while, and then I had a couple things that happened. One, I didn't realize that I had the refrigerator and the Titan pack plugged into the 110
yeah.
circuit, and it was flipping off and on. So I had to unplug the refrigerator, plug that into the 12 volt. Then I could charge the Titan pack. And it got up to, I don't know, 40%, 50%. It got down to about 20% after a full day of running the PA system. It got down to about 20%. I think it got back up to like 40-something% just running it like that. And then I started experimenting. I tried to charge it. I tried to use the Ryobi 18-volt inverter and plug the Titan pack into that. It did not like it. It did not like. It would not charge because I'm like, I'm just gonna take the
Nobody likes Ryobi juice, dude.
Yes,
Nobody.
the green Ryobi juice.
No.
So then the way the Ryobi converter works is if you plug it into a battery, if you plug it into the cigarette lighter, it's like 100 amps. If you plug it into the 18-volt battery, it's like 300
It's like
amps.
the other batteries. No, like that doesn't look like a real battery to me. It's like I could say some controversial things, but that looks like fake battery juice to me. And that's all.
It works for me. I like fake battery juice. But
What's your juice of choice? Yellow, like DeWalt.
I go DeWalt. I'm invested in 20-volt DeWalt. I'm already, I've read things that it's not the best, and it may not be, but it suits me, and that's fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yellow
I think my
juice.
dad still has a original like Makita power drill with like those lead acid.
yeah,
batteries.
the long skinny ones.
Yeah, the cylindrical.
I found one of those in my garage.
I found one of those on a furnace change out at my buddy's house.
Oh, funny.
Somebody had dropped it in there like literally 25 years ago or whatever when the house was being built.
But so
There it was.
The Titan battery pack from Iron Man, we used it at this event for 2 days, and I use it at Johnson Valley for 3 days. I am super impressed with the way this
So
battery
I
pack
think the
works.
next step is like the solar pack
Yes.
to see
Yes.
That
how
would be
how
the, trifecta, right?
right.
That's like-
Well, how quickly would the solar conditions varying or whatever, but you're committed to it. You're doing your own thing. Because again, I could have done that. I could have just I did run my truck to power my pack back up, and I agree with you. It wasn't like super quick or anything, but I got what I needed.
But think about it, like.
But I
at
could have left
Johnson
it back
Valley,
at pack, and just
If we just put the power pack in your tent and put the panels out in front of your tent,
just
and
see what
then
it does. Yeah,
Come back later.
I
That-
don't know some of these, and I don't know, and I'm gonna try to look it up right now. I should probably figure this out. but I don't know. Some of these power packs you can't charge and discharge at the same time.
Well, I
don't know.
well, that seems horribly inefficient, right? You're asking essentially that battery pack or whatever to be some sort of inverter or something. That can't be efficient. It'd be better to have multiple sources. If
You're asking it to intake and output.
Output, it's rough. I don't know if Jose, have you ever tried to do that?
I'm just saying.
It's very difficult. Very difficult. Don't do it if you don't have to. But I was going to comment on, having the been at that campsite with the many people. You see a lot of similar things, like a lot of the tents, the gazelles everywhere, and a lot of the solar setups. Like it actually would have behooved us to go around and interview people. Like, what works for you?
Yeah,
like, you got a whole solar
so like for you,
array
Code,
here.
Like,
does
Code,
it work?
If you put that solar panel on top of your roof,
mm-hmm.
and you can just wire it down, put like an Anderson plug to hang it right there.
The Titan Pack has an Anderson plug kit already in it. So it's
that's what I'm
got the
saying.
inlet, it's got the little thing, and if you buy the Iron Man solar panels, literally plugs right in. Like plug and play. And
I would have interviewed those people because I thought about that. Like, well, how does this array setup work for you? I was horribly hungover, and I had no desire to go and speak to anybody whatsoever.
No, you guys were
just wanted
effing
to
worthless
leave
on
me,
Sunday.
Leave me alone.
So
I'm sorry, dude. I dropped the ball on Sunday.
Yeah, you did. So
we got a lot of good photos of you, and like
I
people.
know.
I mean, there wasn't any dick pics or nothing with like schlongs in your face, but
there might as well have been.
Yeah, it was.
So this says that the 6.5 millimeter DC or 30 amp Anderson plug input ports are compatible with charging directly from solar panels. No external charge regulator is required, which is a big deal because a lot of times you have to buy the solar panel and then you buy the regulator and then the regulator plugs in it. And this has a built-in regulator. So if you buy, you can buy the Iron Man panel, plug it straight in. Right, solar charge times.
That's all we're looking for, right?
Yeah, just cut out the middleman.
Yeah,
we don't need a middleman.
Like, I want to plug something. I need to plug something in this side. I need to plug something on the other side. Make it work.
So this is maybe I should have read the manual before I use it. So the input port.
Why bother? Why now?
Estimated input port charging times: 8.5 hours off the AC adapter. 16 hours off of a 12-volt cigarette lighter, minimum of 13 hours off of a USB-C charger.
That's not bad.
8.5 hours at 18 volts for a solar DC port. That's not bad. That's just same amount as as plugged into the outlet, and 7 hours for a solar 30 amp Anderson port. That's just a guideline.
Can it give and receive?
I'm trying to find.
It's also like the length.
I need to know.
What's the length on that Anderson port? Like
I just need to know one thing.
Control F, give and receive. I can't seem to find it inside the PDF.
Repeat.
So I'm trying to find that part out. I know it can't give and receive when it's plugged into the 110 volt.
I know there's a maximum it can receive. I think it's like 100 watts.
Yeah.
I think it's a 100 watt solar panel you can
just gonna let it go.
Okay, so when
the 200's too buku.
Yeah. When the Titan 500 is recharging, the USB and DC 12-volt output ports are workable, but the AC output port is shut down at that time. So you can give and receive. You just can't give and receive 100.
It's not equal. It's not 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna lose, but it's still something.
Compromises must be made, but
hey, switch off. Trade.
Okay, so long story short is
yes, you can.
It seems like we went short story long on the whole thing.
I am super happy with that.
100%. 100% that Titan Pack ran my fridge the whole weekend.
So
enough said.
So
enough said.
Having used it, would you have wished it was like a bigger battery pack? Because it's 50 amp hour. How big is the battery in that thing?
Damn it, I'll look it back up.
It is 52
50,
amp,
right?
52 amp
'Cause
hour.
there's
if I remember.
There's other companies that have like giant ones, do like 1500.
It's not about size sometimes, Jose.
I
It's
know
about,
that. I'm just saying. Do you think there's a
51
diminishing
amp hours.
Is there like a diminishing return? Like, do you
Well,
need?
I think it's just like anything
a
else.
giant
if you
fucking
have 2,000 amp hours,
Yeah.
you're gonna plug in enough stuff.
Yeah, who's going? Come on, you're
think
supposed
about
to be
this.
camping.
Yes,
There's
a
supposed to
year
be
ago,
some adventure.
2 years ago, 10 years ago, there was no cell phone reception. There was no rooftop tents.
Right.
You had a styrofoam cooler and some beer.
Yeah, you
that
went to
was
Circle
camp.
K. You bought that fucking shitty white
Yes,
cooler.
yes.
And you ate beef jerky the whole fucking
So,
trip.
so now we're at the point where we're bringing 51 amp hours of power.
And you got ice cream the whole fucking time.
yes, yeah.
Come on.
So, I mean, it's one of those things where if you have the power, you'll use it.
Again, that's ran all 3 days at 35 degrees. Like,
Yeah.
I'm damn
On
near
your fridge,
freezing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if you were like,
And I could have been more strategic and just unplugged it every night, But
See,
it
but
does does drop. Like if you get back up to 46 or whatever, it'll pull down
Quick.
very quick.
Yeah, but if you just plug it into your cigarette lighter and while you're wheeling all day, you don't even have to use a battery.
100%.
yeah,
exactly.
So
'Cause that's what I do, and it stays. Mine turns off overnight and it's still cold in the
Yes.
morning.
we're talking about the Iron Man fridges. If we run all day long with the fridge plugged in, and you get to camp and you turn your truck off and you've got it set at 32 degrees,
gonna stay
it'll
fucking
be
cold.
44
Yeah.
degrees when you wake up in the morning. It's really it's about a 10-degree. The only time that was an issue was Mojave 2022 when it was 115 degrees at night. But under normal
But
conditions,
I still feel like 100% if I'd had that pack, it would have been a completely different experience.
100%.
You had to go get
Uh,
ice.
and a shade like Jose's awning
Yeah.
would have been great too.
If
The entire camp huddling underneath Jose's canopy would have been amazing.
A fridge, Iron Man fridge, and the Iron Man pack, game changer, right? I fully believe that under, like, let's say last weekend, if I wasn't running a PA system all day long for 2 days, or if it wasn't Johnson Valley where I was running an electric blanket all night long, that power pack will get you through a full weekend of running your refrigerator at night, doing some lights at the campfire, recharging your phone, whatever. I don't see
your power needs aren't.
Yes, I don't see any.
It makes a huge dent on your power needs. Not to mention, like, that fridge is great because you're packing that thing tight. There's no space loss for ice and slush and whatever. It's a refrigerator.
Yeah,
you can pack that shit as tight as you want.
For me, at this time, I don't see
The way
a
Jose
need.
likes it.
I don't see me needing more than this pack can provide.
Yeah, I don't like. What else are you gonna plug in, dude? I mean, unless you're video editing on the road.
Yeah,
like, you might need a dedicated one. You might need two of these. I don't know.
A solar array would.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll take it.
Yeah.
and just that'd be a part of your strategic. Whatever. All right, I'm setting up camp. You set up your solar array. You set up your tent or whatever it is, and then you're good to go.
But this is like a perfect solution, so you don't have to add like a second battery to your truck. This is like the perfect solution until your needs exceed what this thing can do. Then you'll have to do a whole like dual battery setup.
Yeah,
and your truck.
I am totally 100% happy with the way the Titan pack works, and in conjunction with the fridge.
Was, I mean, it is a game changer, 100%.
Yeah,
and I'm like the last guy to be. I mean, I was intrigued because, again, on that super hot trip, you guys were eating ice cream like on night 2, and I'm like, Jesus,
dude,
I have slush.
Yeah, my ice was melted by day 1. I think.
Yeah. No, I had.
We had to go into that gas station like the
That's right.
second night and buy some more ice.
That's right. It was incredible. It was incredible how hot it was, and then to see you guys eating ice cream. There's a lot of anger and frustration. Like, God damn it. So
probably slept with one eye open that night. Like,
You did?
No,
Or
he did. Yeah. He's
No,
like,
I
they're,
didn't.
They're gonna take my fridge.
So that's our quick review of the Ironman Titan Pack. You can go get the Titan Pack right now at ironman4x4.com, ironman4x4america.com. They are in stock. They are $4.49. Use code TrailChasers20 to get 20% off of that, if that works. But great, it's a great,
big deal.
Great investment. Yeah, it's a pretty decent discount.
And the fridge has like a Danfoss compressor. It's not like a chump piece of equipment.
No.
It literally that's quality. Like Danfoss isn't cheap stuff, as far as from my HVAC and refrigeration
big
experience.
the gold standard right there.
Danfoss has
up
been
there.
around for
Sure.
forever, and it is a great manufacturer. But I want to do a blog post on the Titan Pack and on the refrigerator. I just haven't had time to do that yet.
I thought the blog post fairy was going to do that.
Plus, one other thing I was going to mention, like when we got back and I drained down the Titan Pack and I have my CPAP thing as well. When I got home that following week, we had major storms or whatever. I made sure to plug that stuff in because that Titan Pack would run like my CPAP for probably a week, and it was like, what if we lost power? Where would I be? I'd either go, because again, you guys know how important it is for me to have my CPAP. Knowing that I could run that thing off of that Titan Pack for numerous days, as well as Monty's, I'm sure, or go get a hotel for $200 a night or something like that. I immediately made sure to plug that. It's kind of an emergency backup plan as well, And I'm not saying that's, go ahead and get one because it's your emergency plan. But for me, it is. Like,
but you have it.
Is.
That's
exactly. It's ready to go now.
Yeah, that's one of the things about building up a gear set that allows you to take some of these amenities with you on the trail. You also have them at home.
Sure.
How many times we have a pool party and you take the fridge out there, plug everything in. Now no one has to walk into the house or around to the garage to get a soda. It's out there. I mean, it's anyways, huge
also
convenience.
Say I got a new sleeping bag and it was awesome.
Yeah?
It had like a
Cutout.
no. It just had a zipper or whatever.
Tell me more.
Velcro. It had a Velcro latch or whatever at the end, so it didn't like if I rolled over, it didn't just blow open.
Oh yeah.
It just held the zipper closed. That was really rad. So I was able. I'm a
Your zipper.
I'm a lumbering sleeper. Like I roll around a bunch. And so if it's just a zipper that's, holding the bag closed, it's probably not enough.
Really, I haven't noticed.
So to have that little latch, the Velcro thing was really awesome. So I'm really super stoked about my new sleeping bag. Plus, it's negative or 0 degree bag.
Negative 0
Yeah.
degrees.
It's about the same.
Okay. Couple quick things that we have a new video up on our YouTube page just because we needed to do something different. So it's a little highlight video that we put up there.
Just don't ask who made it.
the highlight reel.
no.
The highlight reel fairy showed up and did that over the last couple nights. I have seen something, and I'm assuming everybody has seen this. If you're on any level of social media, you have seen this. I'm going to put it up on the screen. And you guys tell me if you have seen this.
Oh, my God. You can't avoid it.
Oh, my God. This is the video. You've all seen it. This is the video of the Kia Soul getting
what the
launched on a California highway.
Dude, imagine you're just driving. You're just driving fucking mind your own business.
I was fucking...
What the fuck?
I was crying on the couch watching this, and Tammy's like, I don't understand it. And I'm like, look at that, that Kia Soul. He's just putting along.
Driving.
He's just cruising
Boom.
like a hamster.
Shit,
So he's cruising along like a hamster, bebopping down the freeway. This tire shoots out from underneath him.
And then
Holy-
fucks
and
him up afterwards.
And afterwards, like, I'm not fucking done with you. My favorite part of this.
Hey, kudos to Kia though, because the airbags
and the guy lived. The guy,
but they went. If you see when he's flipping, they're already deployed.
He hits the tire. So my favorite part of this is as soon,
Boom.
boom. No,
Right
as soon as he launches in the air, his brake lights are on. He's like, he's like, I gotta stop.
I gotta stop.
And I'm just picturing this dude, fucking foot to the floor,
Fuck, dude.
pulling on the steering wheel as hard as he can.
Fuck,
Dude, you
man.
remember in Who Framed Roger Rabbit when the
No.
when the weasels are in the car and they're about to get into an accident and their eyes fill the entire windscreen? This guy's eyes. I guarantee
Hey, is this
you,
the 134, like Pasadena?
No, it's I thought it was. Oh,
It looks like 134 heading into
it was
Pasadena.
DeSoto.
Oh,
I thought it was.
go back to the beginning, Code.
It's
I-
it-
you
it's-
see the- you see the highway.
172 or something like that, or
it does look like the 134. I agree. Near Glendale,
DeSoto?
Like by Eagle Rock.
Eagle Rock.
Yeah.
There's
But that's a
DeSoto.
Chevy, right? That truck.
Oh yeah, and that was the other thing I'm thinking.
It was perfectly timed. Where it was like, I'm gonna spit this tire right at
That's
this
fucked
This
up,
Chevy,
dude.
the Chevy
What?
just got his deep dish
Oh,
Brodozer
my
wheels
God.
at the local tire shop, and some intern, put too many chugga-chuggas on the impact wrench, and that's exactly
not
or
enough.
not enough. And I swear,
Damn.
once
dude.
I found out this person wasn't dead, I was dying. I watched it over and over, and I was laughing my ass off because boom, brake lights. He's like, and he's
Fucking A, dude.
10 feet in the air. He's well above the height of that full size truck.
The entire
The
vehicle.
entire
was, yeah.
vehicle. And can you imagine?
Bro, that I think about my ex-wife and my kid just driving fucking down the road.
You're
and
just cruising
you're just
along,
fucking minding your own business.
and all of a sudden you're staring at the sky.
Yeah,
like there's
dude.
nothing
Oh,
this guy,
shit.
absolutely nothing this person could have done.
But
and,
you know what?
and short of negligence, which we don't know, there's nothing the Chevy guy could have done.
Yeah, dude. Fuck.
Dude, it
I
was.
assume this is what it's like around the world, like other than here, like just some fucking crazy ass shit. This
So
type
what about
of stuff
if that
happens all
happens
the time.
when I'm riding my bike?
Yeah, goodbye, Jose.
Yeah.
I'll inherit your bike. You've already hashtag. You already said if you die, I get your bike.
Dude, yeah.
And
This.
that's the other whoop. Transition to
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's fucking crazy, man. Like,
It's-
dude, that's it's like the worst fucking possible thing that can happen to either one of these.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the fucking Kia, dude, he's did nothing wrong.
No.
Just driving.
Just
Same, and the Chevy owner's like, dude, he didn't want that shit. He or she didn't want
no.
that shit.
Like, no, that's the thing. The tire's like, fuck you. I'm not done with you. I'm gonna wreck the back
But
of your car
holy
too.
shit, man.
Yeah. Again, short of negligence, let's say this Chevy dealer, the Chevy truck, didn't know there was anything wrong with
Yeah.
the lugs.
Yeah, but the tire's not even shaking or anything.
No.
It's like
it's
boom. It's just like
That's why I think it was over tightened and snapped.
I think, yeah,
it's not like it
fuck,
was
man.
loose. And
fuck.
and now the Chevy guy is dragging his vehicle across the side of the road now to get off, and he's like, he probably has no idea this just happened.
See, it's shit like this that like makes me think stuff is meant to happen. Because think about all the things that had to happen for this guy that's driving, that's has this cam on
Yeah.
his car to fucking catch this in this perfect
Well,
moment.
he was in a Tesla. They record full time.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was a Tesla. I thought it was like a
Stupid ass Tesla.
yeah.
So, anyways, this thing has been all over social media. If I'm positive you have seen it. It was absolutely insanity. So I've been.
Spacers for the win. Hey man, I'm running
I don't
Spacers.
think it was spacers. It didn't look to me. It honestly looked like the lugs just were over tightened and snapped.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it seemed like it was tracking true into that moment.
Yep. Boom.
But damn.
And then so let's roll right into what you did, Jose.
I don't want to talk about
You
it.
don't want to talk about it?
Yeah, but I do. But I do.
I don't want to talk about it.
When we were
I'm
interviewing
making-
Jason earlier, and he was talking about his dad on an ATC, and he got his leg caught, and I was like, "Oh God, don't talk about that right now, Jose. You don't worry about getting your legs caught. You don't have an ATC. There's not a third wheel or whatever. You'll be fine. That's immediately what I thought.
Look, man. So yeah, I got a fucking dirt bike.
You bought a dirt bike that has a street legal plate.
You bought a
on
dirt
it.
bike with plates on it.
Yeah.
It's my daily cruiser now. but dude,
God bless you.
I don't know what I'm doing in my life right now. I shouldn't have bought this fucking thing.
No, you're wrong. You made 100%, 100% great decision.
I'm gonna agree with you, Jose. It was a bad decision.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Matt thinks it's a good decision. We'll wait till Casey comes on next week and Matt get his opinion. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It really comes down to what you plan on doing with it, what you plan on using it for.
I mean, dude, you guys are like dead set on not driving on the road.
You can. And maybe you're a better rider than me. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't do it on. I wouldn't do it on knobby.
That's what I'm saying. A dirt bike on knobby tires is not a fun experience. Like after you change the oil and you want to drive it around the block a couple times,
Sure.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
But like, hey, I'm going to commute to work. Fuck that.
I don't think
Like,
so.
Even all right. Well, I don't know. All right.
No,
I'll-
but
I won't
maybe,
know until
maybe
I know.
if you,
You know what?
put
Go
like,
try it.
Supermoto,
Try it and let us know.
Supermoto like setup where you got street tires, like a whole different set of rims, like you just bolt it up.
Call me
I'm
the
gonna be
Wheelie
on the
King.
street.
You're gonna call me the Wheelie King from now on. And I bought a bike that's dude. I bought a stupid bike.
What'd you buy?
It's a KTM 450.
That's
I'm gonna fucking die. I was gonna die on the fucking bike I wanted to buy.
that bike's fine for a guy your size.
Yeah.
That bike will be. You would have been some of the bikes that you were looking at before.
Yeah, we're
dude,
like
you would have been
jokes.
like Briggs and
but-
Stratton lawnmower motors.
But I wanted to learn how to ride.
That
That was
great.
like
But that's where
Yes.
where you don't understand is it'll make it easier.
It'll be yes. It is harder to
Yes.
learn when you're trying to get from 0 to 5 miles an hour is a full throttle stroke.
Right.
That's impossible. Like
you'll learn throttle control immediately, like within
Yes.
the first 15 minutes.
Did you
you'll
see
know,
that
like-
article I sent you? I sent you the article with the different, or it was like an image with all the different types of bikes, or maybe I didn't send it to you. I think I didn't send it to you because I knew you had already picked what you were going to do. But like, it's going to be fun. I would suggest that if you are going to do any significant amount of street riding on it.
Mhm.
And who knows? Maybe the tires that are on there are a different compound. Most
they're-
dirt bike knobbies.
these are set up. This is like a pure dirt right
It's
now.
a street. I'm sorry. It's a track bike.
Yeah.
You said it was
Most-
geared.
Yeah,
for-
it's even
for
he changed the
track.
sprocket because he did a lot of single trail. So it's like, dude, you can't go. He's like, you can't go more than like 65 on this thing.
Oh.
Right?
I'm just telling you that bike will accelerate great. You know, if you're on the street from light to light, but it's not going to stop great. Try
Yeah.
different tires.
Yeah, supermoto style.
Yeah, get those tires.
Yeah.
Like, just get those front and rear rims and tires ready to go. All right, I'm not going to go off-roading for a while. Put that setup and see how that works. I'm sure, I guarantee you it'll work better. And then, because again, I think of it like my paddle. Like, I have a paddle set up, and you swap over. Like, actually, I still have to take the rim and everything and get it swapped
okay,
out.
you don't have another.
I don't have a
wheel set.
dedicated wheel.
set. Okay.
No, but I would. I would you should do that. I'd like to do that. You should do that if you're certainly going to do street dirt. You should have.
I guess that's the
set up.
best of both worlds, right? Like having your.
You're going to
your
get the
road
most
tire-
out of
yeah.
that bike for sure.
But cool, man. Yeah, I was looking at that phone. That phone fucking thing. But yeah.
But dude, your bike has like it has like a steering damper. It's like the guy who owned it.
Dude, this guy he
Seemed
was the
to like
he
put
was,
a lot of good mods on it. It
he was
seemed
the
like a
original
really
owner.
good
He
setup.
bought it in 2006.
Yeah.
The only reason why he sold it is because he bought a Husqvarna 501.
Oof.
Like a 2023, which was right there when it was just sitting there. That's a like $15,000 bike.
Yeah, so he's stepping up, but he's leaving you like a really good setup.
It's a good setup.
And he's like, he just got because he rides up to he lives in Mentone, and he rides up to Big Bear, and he was just tired of dealing with the carburetor, like going from the elevation
So
change.
fuel injection.
Yeah,
on
so he's like,
Husky,
fuck it,
yeah.
I'm going all in, and he bought that Husky 501.
Okay, you don't give a shit about elevation. You
Well,
just,
I'm not planning on riding to Big Bear anytime soon.
Yeah.
So.
This is what I was saying. Like, I dig this. There's a poster here.
Oh
of
yeah.
The differences between
Yeah.
a cafe racer and
He
a
had one of those
tracker
too.
and a scrambler. Like, I love the idea of the cafe racer, tracker, scrambler type as like my next bike. Versus
See, but I think your last impression of riding that 600, it like did everything so good right on the street that if you got on one of those fucking scramblers, you're like, man, this shit sucks.
But my needs and expectations are different now.
Okay.
When I was in my 30s on a 600cc bike, I was kind of hoping I wasn't gonna make it. Like like, you know what I mean? I didn't give a shit. Like it was I wanted to see how fast I could go. I wanted to push it as hard as I could go. I wanted to lean as far as I could lean. Now I just be like, hey, let's cruise down and grab some breakfast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I have no need to outrun anybody. There were times, even on my cruiser, when I had my 1600cc cruiser, where my buddy and I, we'd be riding on the freeway and we would see a group of crotch rockets, a group of racers. Even though we both had racers back but we happened to be on our cruisers that day, we would intentionally, like, we would see it and in sync hit the throttle, no face, like just open face helmets, fly by those guys at 120 miles just to prove a point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to do that anymore. You know what I mean? I would just want to have some fun on a bike.
But yeah, I mean, again, I'm not making good life choices right now, but
I think you're making the best life choices.
You're making life choices. Whatever
You're
they have to
realigning.
be.
You are realigning your chakras right now, 100%.
but I'm super excited, man. Like I'm telling you, as soon as I took that motorcycle class, I'm like, I need to get one of these fucking things.
Mm-hmm. And it's once you start. Well, I'm hesitant, and I don't want to be negative, but I'm concerned. Part of my reason for being concerned about you getting a dirt bike that you're riding on the road is my experience on a dirt bike on the road was not good. And if the only thing I had known was a dirt bike on the road, I'd have been like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
I don't want it. But having the ability to ride a small cruiser, a large cruiser, and a sport bike, those are the three different bikes I've owned prior to riding a dirt bike on the road. Like riding a dirt bike on the road, you go, okay, well, that's just because that's what this is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not the only experience you've had. So I hope that you have a good experience and, you feel good about it.
Yeah, me too.
You will feel good about it. You're just not going to you're not going to take that thing on the highway and ride to Razor Road to go ride for the weekend.
No.
You're still going to put that thing on the back of your truck, just like a regular person with a dirt bike. And then you're going to ride, whatever. Because, again, it is a dirt bike. It's just registered with the state. That's cool. So you can fuck around town, like if you wanted to, dick around your house or whatever, and just, hey, whatever that means. Like,
Tooling around, running.
I'm going to go to the bar or whatever. I'm going to go to the You're not going to go to the grocery store.
I'm not going to go to the bar either.
No, but coming over here or going to get some
chicks.
lunch or what, there's plenty of things you can do on that bike that is
Around
still going to
town,
be fun. Yes.
That thing's going to be fun.
Yes.
And I do think you need to do the Supermoto, put some street tires on it, and see. I don't know that. I don't know what that's about. I don't know how the bike would behave, But I just know.
I saw a guy in a Honda Grom right here when I was turning on Bellevue.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I should have got one of those.
Those Groms and those Honda Ruckuses are super cool. You guys,
what are those?
The Ruckus?
The Grom, dude.
You haven't seen that? Here, I'll put one up there.
One's Honda, one's
the Grom is
a Honda, right?
Matt, do you remember like when we were in high school? There was these pocket bikes.
Oh, Christ! Yeah, you know what? The other day I was taking my kids to Top Golf, and I went past two of these dudes.
Yes,
and it was like, get the hell out of the way! You guys are just problematic. No.
And then there's this one, the Ruckus, that looks like a scooter, but it's
no.
It's
no.
They're doing like full custom street racers.
called a waste of money.
Did you see the big wheel crew? I've sent you guys videos from the big wheel crew. I think it's called the big wheel crew, and it's guys that the guys that make trikes, like full on motorcycle trikes.
Those are people that live in like rural areas, you know, or whatever. There's there's nothing fucking around.
There's no danger of them getting T-boned by a fucking
exactly like
a truck.
The odds of getting run down by another vehicle or whatever is like exponentially lower than around here. Like you're gonna die, and that's what I'm saying. I saw 2 of those guys 2 or 3 days ago. Like, the fuck are you guys doing on baseline on these stupid ass bikes? Traffic had to slow down. The guy in the back, because they were riding in tandem, the guy in the back's like, I'm assuming the one in front didn't have the skill level and he was scared or whatever the fuck. But the other guy was like, slow down. He was trying to slow up. What the fuck? You have to have somebody with you with like to change lanes and shit? That's dumb. That's retarded. You shouldn't ride those things. You shouldn't ride those things on the street whatsoever.
Now that I'm a KTM owner, what does that say about me? I don't. Apparently, KTM.
Apparently, you're rich.
Nah, this is a fucking
you got
2006. It's a 2006 KTM.
I think automatically it means you get to look down on me if we go riding together. Like,
I'm back on the top. I used to be North Fontana.
It sounds like the move you made because I told you in a text. Would you rather die on a KTM or a Suzuki?
You're right.
And he chose a KTM.
That put it in perspective.
Smart move.
Like, damn, he's right.
He's right. So that just again puts you ahead of me. You know.
But do I have to start buying KTM everything now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah,
all
dude.
German.
As soon as I bought that Cowie, as soon as I got the Cowie from Cody, I had all Cowie shirts and like matching decor.
It's gonna be slow though. Like you'll see maybe a KTM hat now, and then a shirt.
Sure, yeah. No, start with a hat.
And then he's gonna a couple months from now we're gonna be like, hey Jose, we're going wheeling. He's like, I can't go wheeling. I'm meeting with my my German motorcycle crew.
Austrian
I'm meeting up with Gunther.
Club.
Das Führer has a meeting
with Gunther. And,
it's
all of a sudden I start getting a German accent and be like, what the hell?
Was ist los? It's gonna be speaking of German, there is a show on Amazon Prime called Hunters.
What kind of Hunters?
It's very good. I don't want to go into detail because it's very visceral. But it has a lot to do with Hitler and the Holocaust and a bunch of stuff. It's good, great show. I love it.
Wait, what's the show called?
Hunters. It's absolutely worth watching.
Okay.
I just reminded me because we were talking about Hitler.
I don't think Hitler was brought up.
German. I brought it up.
Like, damn, we talked about Volkswagens earlier. Were you thinking Hitler automatically then too?
He's like, yes.
Jesus.
I can bring in Hitler now.
God. If somebody with German descent, I resent that. Like, you keep hitting me over the head with Hitler. All right, yeah, but he was bad. He sucked.
Isn't there just a giant hole in your history from 1934 to 1940?
I don't know if it's as big a hole as you think it is, Jose. Like, we've learned to deal with, that expanse and, whatever.
So when are you going riding? When are you taking it riding?
Saturday. It's my inaugural fucking ride.
Where are you going?
Oh my God.
Ukaipa down a fire road, next to my buddy's house. Matt's supposed to go, but
you know what? I didn't know you were buying a bike this week. So
we were supposed to go riding either way on your bike.
Well, yeah. If it's my bike, it's like, well, Holmes, I tried to start it or whatever, and it just
I was just gonna say
whatever. Like now, it's like, oh fuck, I gotta get on that shit. I'm gonna pull it out of mothballs tomorrow.
Look,
I'm gonna empty the tank, make sure I don't have any kerosene in there.
Yeah, you don't have any
it's been a few
acetone
years.
I'll come out with my mountain bike because that's as fast as you guys are gonna go. Yeah. It's
as fast as he's gonna go.
Yeah. No, I
what's the over under? 100 feet.
No. You'll go 100 because this is what's gonna happen. This is how it always happens. You go 100 feet.
You're like, I
and
think
then
I
you
got
go
this.
200 feet.
I think I got
Then you
this.
go 400 feet. Next
Then
thing
you
you know,
grab
you're
throttle
in
and you're on
third
the
gear,
ground.
and then you're on your ass. That's
Oh.
it. It's never the first time out. It's the third or fourth lap that you start to get confidence and wash out.
Well, yeah, it's when you start, trying to grab throttle when you shouldn't, and you don't know when you shouldn't, and it's usually on a flat turn or something like that, and it's like you just don't realize like how easy the
I will be
rear
honest.
will
I am
slip.
extremely terrified. Like I'm not.
Been there,
I'm
done
really
that.
fucking nervous riding this. fucking
Every
thing.
time I rode my
Been
dirt
there,
bike,
done it.
yeah,
Yeah.
even like I was less terrified doing 100 miles an hour on my street bike than I was on my dirt bike
Yeah.
because my dirt bike spent more time on the ground than although my street bike. Weird story. I had a flat and I had to get a new back tire for my R6, and new tires are slippery and you need to break them in. And I knew this, and it had been a couple months, maybe a couple weeks since I'd ridden that R6. I was riding my other bike, and left my house, went down my old house down to the corner, and there was a 90-degree turn, and I just over throttled, and the back tire spun right out from underneath me. And I was going 10 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour, whatever. And the back tire spun out, and I literally just put my foot down, and the
Stepped off.
the bike
Yeah.
spun around in circles. Oh shit! I got to be careful. Like, got back up. But that's it's
But yeah, I'm fucking terrified of that thing. Just knowing.
wear the gear, dude. Wear the helmet.
Yep,
Wear a padded jacket.
Don't get overly confident. Like you're gonna want to hit the throttle because it's fun. Do it on a very clean straightaway and make sure you can see what's in front of you.
And whatever distance you think you need to brake, give yourself twice that.
3x that.
Yes.
Five times
At the
that.
beginning, yes. Like
Yeah.
Matt, I've watched Matt come up to a turn, lock up brakes, and
He's gonna die.
yeah, like me behind him thinking we should be slowing down, and then Matt locks up,
Sits
kicks the
through
tail
it,
around, and is
sits
gone.
through it.
Yeah, 100%. Like that takes
It's
time.
feel. Yeah, you're not gonna have that for a while.
No,
Like,
but for the time being, just like you said,
look for straight opportunities to gas it, and just that's your happy time. Okay, cool.
Yep.
When you're running, yeah, exactly. Anticipate early brake. Let the engine brake for you, like downshift.
Yep.
And hold that brake down. And then just don't get too aggressive. Don't get too confident. Don't
Nah,
get
dude.
too confident.
Look, I have no ego, so I'm not even gonna fucking bring it on the trip. Like, dude, like I said, I'm fucking terrified. I'm gonna just ease into it, dude.
We're talking first day. So, yeah, just wheeling around somewhere flat where you can see what you're doing.
Yeah,
That's fine.
that's cool. What is that?
that is a
Electric bike?
no, it's
Oh.
it's a scrambler. It's a Ducati
It's
scrambler.
got an exhaust on it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I may or may not be browsing motorcycles now, asshole.
Mm-hmm. Yes. You see my hands?
But you're not going to get a bike.
Am I? I already have one for him.
What?
We'll ride.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I can ride with him too though.
I
said swap out tires.
I don't see me getting another dirt bike ever.
I didn't say dirt bike.
I didn't either. I have both. I'm plated.
Mhm. It's all
okay,
coming
well,
together.
But
It's
yeah,
almost
like
like
I
I
said,
planned it.
I don't know what I'm doing right now
I'm
in
going
my
to
life.
keep my dirt bike and I'm going to buy a street bike. Yay for me. I win. I win it all.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm fucking super excited.
Jose, the only thing that's like kind of I don't want to say it's kind of a downer. It's just it's going to get hot soon. So
Yeah.
you have like 2 months of riding time on that bike in the dirt or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you ride in the street and get some time in, but dirt bike season is over in
Yeah,
April,
but,
really.
But motorcycle street bike season is just starting.
right.
And even though it's hot as balls, like you just for the opportunity to ride, you don't care. You still wear
True.
jeans and boots,
True.
and you
Sweat
just
your balls off,
you,
and,
you
then,
just go.
But
And
I have a fridge now.
I'm talking about the bike itself though. Doesn't doesn't like heat.
No, I know. You go putting around for 15, 20 minutes. You got to go back to your truck, let it cool down. No? Is that in fucking 100-degree plus weather?
I don't ride in that weather. I did.
You're
I
going
did.
to-
I did when I bought my bike.
Well, you're fucking going to again
Well,
because I need someone to
you know
ride
what?
with.
I know. I bought my bike in April.
Mhm.
My first dirt bike.
Yeah.
My RMZ in April, and I rode through the summer.
Yeah,
It
we're
was-
gonna
it
ride
was-
through the. We're going to El Mirage a lot.
Jose,
Yeah.
Nicole's asking that you.
Yeah, I know.
Before
I
you,
know.
before you go out on that first dirt bike ride, can you do something for her so that she doesn't get.
I haven't got any notifications yet. She'll know when.
We need to do an over under on whether or not Jose is going to be on the show next Tuesday.
Dude, that's a good bet.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
I'm saying he'll be here, but he'll be in pain.
Oh yeah,
So-
man.
He'll be in pain.
Some
It's-
sort of pain.
well, yeah, you're going to use muscles you've never used, like
exactly.
that.
No,
If I go riding, and I hope I can on Saturday, like I myself, it's
Dude,
like,
you're
dude, I
giving-
haven't ridden shit
You're
in
giving yourself
fucking
an out.
3
You're gonna
years.
fucking
Like
make it, bro.
I'm gonna be hurting. I'm not saying hurting because I fall
You're
or
gonna be
anything.
sore.
Yeah, just it's just being on a motorcycle in the dirt. It's a lot. It's a physical exercise. Like it's like it doesn't seem like, oh, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm shifting my weight around. I'm trying not to crash. Like it's a lot of there's a lot of exertion,
I gotta
and you're gonna know exactly what that is. You're gonna use a lot of muscles you're not used to using.
Yep.
And same here.
which
Like,
is why I don't want to get a dirt bike because
yeah, you
because
do.
here's me.
Yeah, you do.
Here's me, and you've seen
You
it.
do.
You've seen it. It's that.
He's thinking about it now.
No,
He is.
I'm
He's
not.
thinking
I am
about it.
not getting a dirt bike.
Okay.
The
I said that too. Look at me. I got a fucking KTM.
Start riding.
because if I get on a dirt bike, I will want to push it.
You don't have to get full send, bro.
But whether
It's
I
different
want
now.
to or
It's-
yeah,
not.
hey,
You
You're
have a daughter
broken.
now.
You're
You have-
broken
you have
now.
a daughter now. So you're a trail guy now.
Yeah.
We're all trail
but
guys.
I'm not good enough to be a trail guy.
What are you talking about? You're a perfect trail guy. Like you're a trail rider. You're all about stop it. There's a you have every bit of any skill necessary to be a trail riding person wherever we go. It's how fast, it's how ridiculous the people you're riding with want to go. And we ain't doing that.
Well, and that was
I'm not
another part
doing
of it.
that.
Back in the
It's just
day,
it's just like anything else, dude. There's levels to this shit, right?
Yeah.
So you might be like, dude, I think I'm the shit, but the's always gonna be someone riding.
I
faster
never
than-
thought I was the shit. I
No.
rode with people who were the
yes,
shit.
yes.
And I knew, oh, I suck. I'm intermediate. Like, and I was happy about that.
and
Like, oh,
my- and my
I think
goal-
I'm pretty intermediate. you
My
know?
goal was just to keep up with Matt the whole time.
Yeah.
Like when it came to riding a dirt bike, I always felt like I was riding 2 notches above my comfort zone, and it made me better. So my comfort zone kept getting bigger. But
Yeah,
like
but-
we would go to Glamis, we'd go on these rides in Glamis and in lines of side by sides and quads and dirt bikes, and I see the guy out front, and I'm like, there's no
Keep
fucking
up with
way.
that guy.
No fucking way am I catching that. He's going that direction. I'm gonna not die in that direction. Like that was my plan.
But man, dust off your fucking riding gear, because
Oh,
We're going
I
out,
still have
dude.
it. I still.
We're
Oh
going
no,
out,
no,
dude.
I know we're going out now.
there's no.
Fuck, I gotta go into training. I have to like, dude. I don't. I don't.
need a montage.
Yeah, I don't lift things anymore. I have no physical nothing. Like I'm just an office guy now. So, but I'm super pumped about it. Like I've been waiting for somebody to get a dirt bike. Let's go ride dirt bikes. Cool. And the fact that you have a dirt bike, it's not like riding with my buddy Mike or these other guys that the last few times I went out riding, like, fuck, these guys are shooting out of camp. Like they never, because they never stopped riding.
They never
And
stopped
it's like,
riding.
Jesus Christ. Well, thank God I know where you're going. I'll fucking meet you guys there. And the first 2 hours is like, I'll get there. Wait for me. I'll fucking get there. And then, but by the end of the day, it's like now I'm in the pack. All right. It's all back to me now. But I'm still exhausted. I'm still physically
Yeah.
weak. I can't, whatever. Thankfully, they drink a bunch, so it's the great equator. But no, dude, I'm excited. I'm super excited to go out riding and let's go hit. Dude, Razor Road is a super fucking great place to ride dirt bikes because it's all sand. I like
It's
riding
wide
and
open and
soft.
flat. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. You can get into some soft, sandy trails that'll challenge the shit out of you. But it's also, if you don't make it, it's like flop. You just flop over. But that'll enforce like throttle control and weight distribution more than anything. Like if you're in first or second gear, 5 to 10 miles an hour in this little tight little area where you're just on the throttle and you're working the clutch to redirect the bike through these tight areas and your weight distribution. It's very technical. And the penalty is you flop over and like bike stalls, you got to kick it over a number of times, but you're not doing, 50 miles an hour on something and then a bush comes out of nowhere and you wipe out and you tumble over the bars or whatever, anything like that.
Yep.
But that could happen too. I don't want to take that away from, possibility.
Well, either way,
the chat room seems that I won't be coming back.
Yeah,
so.
we hope Jose makes it back next week.
Me too.
But
hey guys, I'm remote this week.
He's in like
hospital.
One of those halos with the thing like screwed to his head. Jose, are those screws into your head?
Yeah.
And then it's just
yes.
He can't nod or nothing. It's just yes, they are.
I can't even speak.
Well, Jose, please don't die this weekend.
I'm not planning on it.
We are trying to figure out how to rearrange things to get to the Rodeo X meet at Crown Toyota in Ontario on Sunday.
Live from the Children's Hospital fundraiser for Jose.
But Jose wouldn't be at the Children's Hospital for a fundraiser.
If it's close,
it was the closest one.
Yeah. He's going to be at the Brawley Hospital.
Oh, well, that's Glamis. We can't take Jose to Glamis.
I know, but
that's next winter.
All right, everybody.
2 weeks from now.
Yeah. Everybody, thank you for hanging out in the chat room with us tonight. We appreciate it. Thank you to Jason for joining us. And if you are available, come out to the Rodeo X Rigs meetup this weekend. If you're going to come, shoot us an email or a message on social and let us know you're going to be there. We are trying to make it happen. Anything else, guys, before we cut out? Don't die, Jose.
I'm a KTM guy now.
For the next 72 hours. All right, everybody. Have a good night. We'll talk to you next week.
Late.